Please join me in welcoming our second entrepreneur finalist. From NonBinary Solutions, founder and CEO, Amanda Ralston.
I wanna be sledgehammer.
Mandy, ready to roll?
Let's do it. Hi, everybody. My name is Mandy Ralston, and I'm the founder and CEO of NonBinary Solutions. How many of you know somebody impacted by autism? Look around. There's been a 250% increase in autism diagnosis in the last 20 years. What you might not know is there's also been a 500% increase in the providers that offer support and treatment for individuals with autism. And over half of the field has less than 5 years of experience. And to make things even more fun, I can get 100 of these providers in a room together and put one person with autism in front of them and say, how are you going to treat this person? And they'll all have completely different approaches. And most of the reason they do it that way is because that's how they've always done it. No other reason. To make things more fun, we've got a group of individuals that all share a common diagnosis, one single diagnosis code of F84.0, which is autism, and it's a very heterogeneous group of people. On one end of the spectrum, you've got somebody that may not be able to communicate, may need support for their entire lives, may engage in self-injurious behavior hundreds of times a day. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got somebody that gets called into HR because they're perceived as being rude. So at NonBinary Solutions, we're taking a proven healthcare technology, clinical decision support systems, and applying it to the neurodivergent care market for the first time. So we are standardizing the decision-making process by giving providers digital bumper rails, if you will, like a co-pilot, to help them guide through different treatment pathways. So far, we've raised $400,000. We've got 4 different bookings with a $300,000 value. We've got $15,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue. We have a contract with a multi-state managed care organization with 7,000 providers within their network. We have a partnership with the University of Kentucky and the University of Georgia, and we have a nice funnel of other customers coming through as well. This is not my first rodeo. I've got 25 years of practitioner experience. I've built 2 clinics. I sold the last one in 2019 to the 4th largest provider agency in the US. And then I started NonBinary Solutions. If you're worried or concerned that I'm a female founder, this is my gaggle of white men to support me. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, fun fact, only 2% of venture capital have gone to female founders in the last 3 years. So, thank you. All right, so if you're interested, please join us, follow us on social media, on our website. You can get that paper about why there is this increase in autism off the website as well. And please come up and talk to me later about support and care for individuals in the spectrum, because hashtag it's not binary.
Great job, Mandy.
Thank you.
I love the idea of creating Mandy's expertise in the black box to help others.
Yes, yes, yes.
Excellent. You ready to face our judges?
Sure.
Dale, would you like to get started?
Sure. Again, congratulations on being a finalist.
Thank you.
As far as your market size, what size is your market overall?
The overall market is a synergy between clinical decision support, neurodivergent care, special education, value-based reimbursement. So we're talking about $9.2 billion.
And as a quick follow-up on that, I know you're just starting this out, but what's the acceptance rate of the clinicians that you're serving?
Well, the good news is, because I'm a 25-year practitioner, I have a very good network. I sort of get to evangelize to my own customers, so they're pretty hip to get on board at this point.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
If I asked you right now what the biggest assumption is that you haven't tested yet that would make or break this, what would it be?
I think all the buzz around AI is making people a little bit trepidatious about adopting this kind of technology, so I'm very keen on letting them know that the initial models are built through logic algorithms, and so AI will come later once we have a big enough data set to actually use a large language model, right?
My understanding from your from the product offering is that you use an open source assessment tool, if you will, to sort of enable the feedback to be provided to end users. To what extent has your testing sort of demonstrated that the output is actually valid and reliable, that somebody who's using the tool can actually rely on it to take advantage of the recommendations that have been made?
Yeah, well, with our beta customers, University of Georgia and the large managed care organization, et cetera, we're getting a lot of feedback in real time. So we've been building the product on a low-code platform so that we can quickly change what the customers want right now, while we are simultaneously building out the SaaS product so that we don't have to break code and start over again. So we're getting real-time feedback on what the customers want, and then we'll be able to apply that to the SaaS product overall.
So we talked about the clinicians, now let's talk about the patients.
Okay.
So to engage the patients into the platform, how? Is there any incentivizing?
Oh, I mean, this is a matter of bringing the patients into care, right? So it's a care navigation model to begin with. So understanding who exactly is coming into your clinic, what is their particular history, what are their diagnoses, have they gotten all their diagnoses, are they able to access basic medical care, right? So it's really doing a very standardized intake process based off my 25 years of practitioner experience.
Okay.
So I have a huge question about the data and where all the data is coming from and how you're going to bring it all together and structure it appropriately. Let's start there.
Okay. So again, through the users, it's the care navigation model, which is the beginning sequence of the software, understanding who is this person coming into your care. So it's meant to be an interview process with a parent or a caregiver of the individual with autism, ADHD, or the other neurodivergent conditions, right? So you are getting real-time interactive data that is then inputted through the system and then munged with the engine inside.
Okay. And then I'm going to take the liberty of asking a second question. Assuming that this will have a cost associated with it that hospitals, clinics would pay, what funds are being diverted to this if they're not going to increase their budget?
Well, we estimate that using the model is going to save at least 3 hours' time on assessment, which is still billable time. So it's going to increase the efficiency, so it's going to come out the operational costs.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
So when you think about a solution like this, I guess I understand, as soon as there's an opportunity that, it creates, a market for competitors, if you will.
Yep.
What sort of makes your solution unique that somebody couldn't copy it?
I'm trying to think of the movie with Jeremy Irons about the financial crash, but he basically said there are 3 ways to win: be first, be best, or cheat. I intend on being best and first, so there you go.
What other value creation are you thinking about this platform besides this immediate network?
Yeah, so again, we've got 65,000 providers if you just look at board-certified behavior analysts. If you look at special education teachers in the US alone, that's 600,000 people, right? And then if you include social workers, licensed marriage family therapists, anybody else that might touch these individuals for care, the market gets exponentially larger. We've also considered this as a use case for jail systems to understand, again, who is the person coming into your care and making sure that you are reducing risk and mitigating problematic outcomes. So, yeah.
Is there a particular subsegment of clinics or patients that you believe are most likely to be early adopters that you would start with?
Yeah, if you look at the bell curve of technology adoption, usually it's the payers that are adopting first, and that's why we see this managed care organization actively coming for us. Then it tends to be the sort of innovators themselves, sort of the people that care and have real skin in the game, so some of the smaller clinics, which within the ABA field, I think it's approximately 89% of the clinics have 50 employees or less. So I think, again, through the networking process, I think we'll see traction that way early on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So most of the benefits that you've talked about are to these care clinics, medical providers, if you will. To the end user themselves, do you believe that there's a rich amount of feedback that ultimately can advantage them, can help them sort of accelerate their own care or the steps that they're taking to sort of, make sure that they take care of themselves?
Absolutely. We see this as a way of managing burnout with the employees as well. because you'll be able to look at your dashboard and understand what different tiers of types of clients you have within your organization and within your caseload. So if I'm an administrator and I look at my dashboard and I see that this particular provider has a lot of really intensive, difficult cases on their caseload, I could then go through my pipeline and balance it out and say, okay, we're going to give somebody something less comprehensive on their caseload in order to balance that out.
Quick, maybe last question, I guess. So your market denominator is quite large.
Yes.
And if you are to capture a market as you are projecting, you'll be kind of on an exponential curve.
Yep.
What do you need to do to scale?
Raise more investment. I mean, we have 15,000 and we're a very slim team at this point. I think that once we get the actual SaaS MVP released here in April, which is Autism Awareness Month, we'll be able to get more understanding of how quickly we need to scale and build out that team. I think the sales funnel is strong right now, whether it's customer support as the scaling process goes in, or if it's actually just marketing and development team.
Do you foresee major changes in the technical infrastructure of your data?
I don't anticipate any right now, but we got to get it out there and get the feedback first. So.
Okay, thank you.
I've got one quick question. Where do you get a gaggle of white male funders?
I'm charming. They just come to me. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. Great job.